All right, we are live. So, first weekend of March Madness just wrapped up. Sunday is over. I have my Splash Sports dashboard pulled up. I've lost about, I'd say 55% of my entries are dead. So, feeling pretty good. Excited going into next weekend. That's when the shit really starts. How are you guys doing?
I still got my one entry in the million and then one in the 50K. My very first one, I lost the very first week with Clemson, so I'm still alive. Not feeling too with the whole.
Fucking McNeese
Yeah,
got you, dude. That's good. That's good that you're still alive. That's
yeah.
huge.
I mean, shit, we made it more than halfway now. I think.
No, not even. We're 40% of the way done. We got
Yeah,
6 more.
nice.
We'll be halfway after day 5. What are you at,
No, I'm talking
Tyson?
about the contestants because there's
Oh
11,000 or
yeah. We've
1,000
killed
something.
off over half of them,
Right,
yes.
right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right about that. But the thing is, the second half is going to be harder to kill, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
These are the smart people we're dealing with now. Tyson, check it out.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Winnable all the way. I got 5. How many? I got 5 entries left. So 1 in the million, 1 in the 50K. I have 2 in the 25K, and I got 1 for the little 1 band. So
damn, so you guys are not working with a ton of entries. Look, I'll pull this one up first because it's like easiest to comprehend because there's only 11 other people alive with me. So we've had 5 casualties down here. Today was crazy, boys, because this guy started it off. He burned his 1 seed. And I'm like, oh man, he's cooked. Florida's going to go all the way. And then what happens next is Maryland's about to lose. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone's going to be out. And then Michigan State's losing. I'm like, this guy might win 14 grand. I'm like, this guy might win 14 grand. Like, that guy easily could have won 14 grand today. He was like, so close. I was like, fuck.
wow.
So that might actually be a good strategy, like day 5 and 6, because a lot of people are probably going to start falling out. And if you pick a 1 seed, you're just the last guy left.
Dude, that's what I was about to ask you, Chris, is like, both of y'all, like, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, so this is 5 boxes, but you have to pick 2 picks on this day. So you really have to do 6 picks. So I'm like, dude, it's probably like a 1 in 40 crack to go 6-0. Like, think of a prize picks entry, 6-0. It's pretty hard. So I'm thinking like there's 10 other competitors. Realistically, nobody's going to green out all the way.
No.
So I'm like, I might as well burn Florida and Duke early. And of course, I'm not going to be capable of going 10-0. But like, I might win it on day 7, 8 right there.
You can just take the 2 number 1 seeds on that day.
Yeah, you just
got to hope they're not watching this video.
You just
go 1 seed, 1 seed, 1 seed, and then the 2. You just burn your 4 1 seeds right there.
Right.
That's crazy, bro. But I think it would work, man, because there's only 10 people. So let's pull up the dang schedule real quick, boys.
People might try to get cute and like try to go all the way to day 10. And like if you just last longer.
Well, it's tricky because like the contest y'all are in and mostly I'm in, if you're competing for 25 grand or 100 grand and there's 500 other people, you have to build for day 10 because you're going to have to go 10-0. Like, there's probably going to be a few people in each of our groups that goes 10-0. But in that group, it's a whole different strategy. That's why I entered that contest because it's kind of fun. But if we look at this right here, this is going to be day 5. And it's so funny, man. I was looking through the entries and like a lot of people have burned Alabama and Texas Tech on the same entry. Last night we were talking about not doing that. And it's going to pay off because now, I have the option to either take Tech or Alabama. But I'm sitting here thinking like after what I watched today, like, bro, Arkansas could win, BYU could win. What are you going to do? You have 1 pick. Who are you gonna use? Because you can't.
Right.
you can't touch Florida or Duke because you need them to finish. Like, you're going to need them later on. So what do you like here? Like, what do you know what team you're going to pick?
On this day, that's a tough because I already got in mind.
Yeah, you're gonna pick Bama, Tyson.
That's got to be the best pick. Like,
here's the other side of it too, Tyson. If you're gonna pick Bama and everyone picks Bama, you don't really like do yourself any favors because everyone else picked them too, which is like what we saw with Maryland today, right? Like, had you picked anyone but Maryland, like say you picked Ole Miss and Kentucky and shit like that, and then say Maryland lost today, dude, like half of the people were on Maryland today. So it's, I don't want to fade the public too early, but like at the same time, I know everybody's going to pick Alabama and Texas Tech. So if we put some entries on BYU and Arkansas and they win, like, dude, you're in a position where almost nobody's going to be left. It's crazy.
Arkansas can do it too. I mean, I've already burned Texas Tech in one of my entries, but I really think Arkansas. Calipari's been there. They're playing good. Got to ride the hog.
Yeah, and if you've already burned Tech, you might as well pick Arkansas because you're relying on them to lose at some point anyways. It's fucking crazy, dude. So this is going to be – day 5 is going to be insane. I don't know what the parlay would pay if you parlayed BYU with Arkansas, but if that parlay hits, it's going to wipe out like 80 to 90% of the field. That's crazy. Like in these smaller groups that I'm in, I might, and if I picked BYU and then Alabama lost and Tech lost, I might actually win on day 5 because nobody's going to be fading those two teams. And that's what makes me want to fade them. Because, I mean, we see how these games are, dude. Most of them are like 50-50, regardless of.
Well, especially now. And when you look at the game, Maryland and Florida, realistically, Maryland could win that game too.
I know. I was thinking like, man, maybe Maryland can do it. But, dude, of course, dude, every day is different. But, man, they did not look great today. And it's crazy because, dude, UConn dominated that game against Florida all day today. And then they just shit the bed the last, like – they didn't score 1 point from the 7-minute mark to the 2-minute mark in the second half. That's the only reason they lost against Florida.
Yo, I'm calling this right now, though. Everyone's going to pick Tennessee, and Kentucky for no reason is going to wipe them out.
Yeah. I feel like the same thing. Kentucky can do the same thing.
So this is day 6 right here that I have pulled up. So day 6, people are going to have to – they don't have to, but realistically, like, you got to save the 1 seeds still. Because you got to think most likely the 1 seeds are getting to the Final Four. So if you do think, say you think Kentucky's going to get to the Final Four, well, then you'd have to pick the winner of this game because you're going to come back and pick Kentucky to beat them. But, like, people are going to have to live in these 2 games right here. And honestly, either of the any of those 4 teams could win those games. That's what's crazy.
I can only pick because I've already burned Michigan State in one of them. So it's Tennessee or Kentucky that day.
Yeah, so you have a little bit of flexibility, but yeah, you basically have to pick this. Which one would you pick after today?
I almost want to fade the SEC.
Yo,
go Kentucky.
They're both SEC. They're both SEC, Abe.
Oh yeah, I know, but the top SEC teams, they've been playing like shit. Like Florida,
dude. I mean, so I've kind of felt like the SEC is a little overhyped, but the one exception like that I make the exceptions for the basketball schools. Like Kentucky has been a basketball school forever.
Yeah.
So I kind of give them like an exemption. Like if there's one SEC school I'll trust, it'll be that. Florida's, been solid too.
By the way, Kentucky has beat Tennessee in the last 3 outings.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was looking at that too. Skylar's Oh, dude, he's in the fucking lobby. I gotta let him in.
So is Keith.
Oh, that's Keith. That's Keith. Yo, what's up, Keith? We need Skylar right now, damn it.
The shirt's on.
Anyways,
Skylar calling again. Can you guys hear me? Testing.
Tyson, I saw that too, but Skylar was telling me that Kentucky's missing guys, but fuck it, dude. They're looking great. So we might as well pick Kentucky, man. This is gonna be crazy. So you could go, say you go and you pick what upset do you guys like more? You like BYU over Alabama or Arkansas over Tech?
Arkansas. So
say you go Arkansas, Kentucky. Dude, if you go Arkansas, Kentucky and they hit,
you win.
Chilling. You could win if BYU beats Alabama. Because you got to think half the entries are going to be on Tech. It'll probably be like 35% on Tech, 35% on Alabama. And then you'll get like fucking 10% on BYU, 10% on Arkansas.
How screwed are you if you just pick Duke and you just burn Duke?
You can't. Well, if you're in a big group, you can't win. If Duke goes to the Final Four, you're fucked. You would need Duke to then lose to the winner of Alabama, BYU. So you could go Duke here, and then you could pick Alabama to beat Duke. And then you'd be a fucking genius if you did that. But if you burn Duke on day 5, you have to bet against them on day 7.
Yeah. I mean, based off of this, yeah, it looks like Duke and Florida have a pretty straight shot to the Final Four. I feel like on the other side, though, I don't know. Auburn seems a little sketchy.
They are. Auburn's definitely sketchy, but at the same time, it's like, who would you pick to come out of that region? You got Michigan State, Ole Miss, and then Michigan, Auburn.
That's tough. A tough one right there.
Friday, this day is way harder than the other day.
Keith, who do you think is going to get to the Final Four? Do you have any feelings on the Final Four?
Man, that state rivalry right there between Tennessee, Kentucky. Kentucky's tough, man. I called them today. They were definitely. I didn't really bet on them, but definitely.
It kills me, bro, because we all called these upsets, but I just didn't have the balls to pick them.
I'm like,
why would I pick a team that's like plus 200 when I could get a team that's minus 200?
I had Oregon, to be fair, and the whole theory of March Madness is the beauty of it is it's like any team can just get hot, right? It's a 1-game setting. There's no 3-game playoff, 5-7-game playoff. It's just 1 game, and sometimes teams get lucky. And I feel like Arizona, I don't know. I'll fraud check them in the next round. I thought they got really fucking fortunate tonight to win that game.
Well, I mean, those were 2 good teams. I think
they are, but they were making circus shots and shit like that. That you can get away with that once, but can you get away with it when he gets down to the next round? I don't know.
It doesn't really matter for them because they're playing Duke, so they're gonna get fucked either way.
That's true. Well, that's a very good point. They're gonna get fraud checked.
These teams aren't beating Duke, so it's like it was a coin toss game. If you give me Oregon or Arizona against a lot of these teams, I would have liked to pick them today, but since they're playing each other, I just had to stay away.
Who do you like between that Ole Miss MSU game?
It's tough. I mean,
I think MSU got a little fraud check today too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's so weird seeing New Mexico.
Does that almost help them because they're like it's like a wake up call?
Yeah,
they're the number 2 seed for the reason.
Yeah, that's so true, Abe. It's tough. I hate that when I'm like, man, I want to bet against this team, and then they come out and look like shit and barely survive.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, bro, it's gonna be a wake up call. But it probably doesn't matter because so much is on the line.
Skylar got nothing to lose either, they're
look
playing.
At this fucking squad we got in here, boys. We're rolling 5 deep right now. This is insane.
There's the man, the myth, the legend. There he is.
Dude, I cannot believe Oregon, man.
I'm telling you, they choked, but They fucked up, but Arizona also just, I mean,
Dude, what did they jump off to? Like a 20-4 lead to open that game?
Yes, that's the thing. It was like they had that lead, and then they don't make free throws.
they choked. They couldn't rebound either, Skyler. Their rebounding was not up to par tonight.
No, and honestly, I kind of had that feeling that was my biggest worry is Arizona's a really good rebounding team. But then I was like, but the way the strategy that I have works, I was like, ooh, but everybody's leaning on Arizona tonight. Oregon looks like they can come out alive, and they probably should have realistically with everything that's missed.
Just muted that. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. That game was nuts. I mean, I kind of stayed away from it. I didn't really get too involved on either side. I had a couple entries on both sides. But
I gave out my free VIP pick today for free to everyone on Winnable, and they all were rewarded. So I'm happy, but I was also really disappointed. I didn't put any money on Oregon, but I'm telling you, like, that just, it was so fluky, man. So fluky. Whatever. I'm over it. I'm over it.
I think Oregon was plus 4.5, right?
No, I think it was closer. I think it was 2.5 or even less than that, wasn't it, Skyler?
It was at least 3.5. Let me see.
This
guy, one of my friends messaged me. He was at the game and he told me right before the game.
They should have won though, man. I'm telling you, you can't make circus shots for 4 rounds. It's just not going to happen again. Like Duke's gonna beat them.
Yeah, my friend said he got -4 before the game. He was like, Arizona -4, and I was like, Oregon money line, dude. And then I messaged him talking shit when they were up like by 20.
New Mexico scared all of us to death. I mean, for a second there, I actually thought they could pull it off.
Dude, they could have won that game.
They choked down the stretch. That's what
That's right.
Yo, what are the odds that Purdue somehow upsets Houston?
Yeah, that's another one to look out for.
What are the odds on that game right now? What are they at? Do you guys look?
They're probably favored by like 4, man.
Let me look.
I'll pull it up.
I mean, it shouldn't happen, but it also wouldn't be the craziest thing ever.
It wouldn't be crazy at all, dude. I mean,
Houston's
nothing's crazy anymore. It's March Madness. It's just normal.
It's 7.5.
yeah,
That's probably one of the bigger ones on the day. 8.5 on that one.
8.5.
8.5. Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but also that's a huge. But we've seen teams favored by 10.
There's probably no team I bet on throughout the season that rewarded me more than Houston. So I'm going to back them. I don't know if I'll take that 8.5, but I definitely like them to take care of business against Purdue.
Where are these next games played?
Atlanta for the Southeast region, I believe. Pull back up the bracket, Cody. You got Atlanta for the. Let me pull it up just to confirm.
Fucking tough. Not a big deal though. Biggest thing, guys, is the survivor shit. Skylar, how many survivor entries do you have alive?
Unfortunately, I put Oregon on 3 of those out of my 6 today, and so we're down to half. So we have 3 left. But
Damn.
My best call though was Ole Miss. If I would have got more confident in Ole Miss instead of just splitting up, like that's what I was thinking. Like I was like, man, I feel Ole Miss today. I feel more confident Ole Miss beating Iowa State than maybe Oregon beating Arizona. But I also still thought Oregon would beat Arizona. Just kind of like last second, I was like looking at things. I was like, I think this is going to happen.
You were the guy on them. I thought that was Tyson. That was really on Ole Miss.
No, I mean, I was. I'm sure Tyson was too. I think we all were.
Yeah. I definitely
called that one. Yeah, I have the answer to your question. This could matter for your guys' brackets. I'm just saying, like these are the 4 locations. So the East region, if you want to pull that bracket up, is in Jersey, and then the West region is in San Francisco. So who do we got in the East region?
So East is going to be Duke, Arizona, BYU, Alabama.
Okay, so the East regional is in Jersey. The West regional is in San Fran.
That is a far flight for Arizona.
Yes, the South is in Atlanta, like I mentioned. So who do we got there? Who's matching up in the South? Is that where the SEC is? Kentucky?
Yeah, so South will be Auburn, Michigan, Ole Miss, Michigan State.
Interesting. Ole Miss, it's a quick route right over there. And then the
Yeah.
Midwest is in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Damn, that's funny.
That's crazy. That's where the Colts play. That's weird. They must have like the arena split in half, 2 games or something.
Yeah, the finals are in the Alamo Dome, so it's in a football stadium as well.
Cody, I'm actually wondering really quick. I have to say this. I'm wondering how many people really watch our videos, because when I look at these entries on all these different contests, I see so many Maryland, Michigan State, all these teams that we were talking about in there. And I'm like, man, these people must be watching.
They're listening to us. They're listening to us for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I saw a lot of people fuck shit up. Let's see if we can find any. Okay, so look at this guy, Bagman66. He should have watched last night because he's got Texas Tech and Alabama. Well, what's he going to do on day 5? He already burned Tech and Alabama. We go to day 5. Let me switch it over, boys. So day 5 is going to be Thursday. He's burned Tech and Alabama on the same entry. So now he's fucked. He's either going to have to burn a 1 seed, which is you're done if you do that, or he's going to count on BYU or Arkansas. Now, what's so crazy is these dumb people that burn their top seeds, they're forced to take, like he'll be forced to take Arkansas. Imagine if Arkansas and BYU win, he'll benefit greatly just by being dumb. By making dumb decisions early, he now
his screen name might have gave that away, Cody.
It's just crazy to think like these people that will be alive. There'll be 2 types of people. There'll be people that are just so dumb they had no strategy, and then people like me that are like intentionally going to take the underdog, knowing that the payoff is so high, man. Like if Maryland had lost today, it would have taken everyone out.
Nobody ever wins by taking all the chalk picks. It never fucking happens. You have to take some chances somewhere along the way.
Well, you can, but the problem, Keith, is you're going to split the pot with like 500 other people.
Yeah, but somebody will fuck it up anyways. I guarantee you somebody in this next round is going to fuck everyone.
Arkansas is going to win.
Do you think that Alabama – here's the thing, Keith. Like if Alabama and Tech lose on this day right here that I pulled up, that's what will blow this whole contest up.
Mm-hmm.
So
that would make sense. Yeah, because everyone already burned the other 2, right? Did you guys all use
No, Keith. We haven't burned them, but you cannot burn them until the final. So Florida and Duke, you have to save for day 9.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you can't touch them.
You have huge balls. You could just take Maryland to beat Florida, and you could just.
After what I saw today, I don't know if I'm willing to make that choice, but you never know. They could do it.
The thing, if you go that route, is you better pray that Maryland, if they beat Florida, you better pray that they don't beat Tech, because then if they go to the Final Four and you burn them there, you're fucked.
Well, the SEC is kind of overrated, no?
I mean, yeah, that's what I kind of thought, but they did pretty damn good today. They all won today, it seemed.
They might have won.
Had a really solid day today.
Barely.
But you have this day right here, so you have to survive this. So I'll probably heavily bet Alabama. I'll probably pick Alabama a lot, and then sprinkle on BYU and Arkansas, and I'll probably root for BYU and Arkansas. And then if you get to Friday, it's the same drill with these 2 games up here. So this is kind of a coin flip here. Everybody, what do you guys like? Everyone said Kentucky earlier. Maybe Skylar hasn't said.
Oh, man, I'll be honest. So Kentucky's won twice already in conference play versus Tennessee this year. Hard to beat a team 3 times. So I will have to wait till that game gets closer for me to see the matchups and everything else that I normally do for my strategies. But I would say off a naked eye right now, it might be Tennessee. But Kentucky played a really good game today, and I was impressed. So, and that's with Otega Owe having 2 fouls, and he had to sit their best player. So,
crazy, dude.
They're already missing some other key dudes too.
No,
they're not getting those dudes back, right? Skylar?
No, they're hurt. They're done.
fucking gone.
But
Damn.
I like what he said though. It really truly is, for whatever reason, like the third time's the charm. It is just hard to beat somebody 3 times in one season.
What's happened with Gonzaga this year? They played St. Mary's twice in regular season. Normally they split or Gonzaga wins both because they're always dominant. And they got them in the WCC championship game. And it's happened in years past where Gonzaga wins both games in conference and then they get beat by St. Mary's in the WCC championship. So it's just crazy that kind of rule, You beat a team twice, but the third
it happens
time
all the time in all sports too. It's not just basketball. It happens in football too. Yeah.
But hardly in football though. In one season, are you going to play a team 3 times? That never happens.
The last time I saw it happen, my Niners up there, they beat the Rams. They had won like 9 straight. They beat them both times in the regular season, lost in the championship game. So, like I agree with you. It's very hard to beat a team 3 times.
Actually, I lied. You can play a team 3 times because you play them twice in division, and then you possibly can see them in the.
That is correct.
I just thought about that.
Dude, so what do you guys think the safest route is? You guys have like 1 to 5 entries each, so you guys have to play a pretty safe route. If you're gonna play a super safe route, you can't burn your 1 seeds because you do want to go 10-0. What's the safest pick on Thursday and Friday?
I mean, I would like to think Bama's safe, but
I would say Alabama as well, right? Like this game Arkansas could easily beat Tech. It's going to take a lot for BYU. It's going to take a perfect game for BYU to take out Alabama.
Let me see what I have here. So I have a competition where I'm playing for $40,000. I have a competition for $100,000 that I'm still in.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 entries for my $40,000 one that I'm okay in so far. Then I have 1 left in my $100,000 play. Then I have 1 left in 1,000. So I have 4 entries left. But right here on my 40,000 play, I've already used Texas Tech on 1. And I've already used Texas Tech, Arizona, and Michigan State on 1. And I've already used BYU and Maryland on the other. So
that's not the worst, bro. Those aren't really teams that you'd want to use right here anyways. I mean, if you may want to use Tech, but if you burned them, then you have to pick Alabama. That's pretty much the –
yeah, and my $100,000 one, I'm looking pretty good because I picked Ole Miss on that one, and I already used Iowa State. Every team except for Purdue in that bracket, I've already used, and they're all out already. So I'm looking pretty good on that one. And then my other one, I believe I used Ole Miss on that one, so it got me through. So it was just BYU and Ole Miss on that one. It was like a revival one from after the first day or something.
Yeah, I'm actually going to enter that. They're calling it a sprint. So they're having a new contest going into.
Oh, they are. I see it.
I'm going to get in on that a little bit too.
I'm jealous.
Tyson and Ape, what are you guys going to do on this day right here, day 5, if you had to say now?
I almost have to go Bama because I've already used Maryland. So
dude, you're not going to pick Maryland on this day, even if you could.
Well, I know. I mean, I've already used them anyway, and then I've already used Texas.
What about Tech or Arkansas, though?
Well, I've used Texas Tech on my other one. I could go Texas Tech on the $1 million one, and then I could go Alabama on the 50K.
Alabama's probably the one here, I guess. And Tyson, what are you doing?
Bama, Tennessee, even though I just went off Kentucky's going to win.
So you're going Bama, Tennessee. That's probably not a bad path. Because, I mean, dude, you look at Ole Miss, what they just did to Iowa State.
That game is more 50-50. Like, I'm more unsure about Ole Miss, Michigan State.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kentucky is actually injured and, like, they beat them the last 2 times, this is a good spot for Tennessee. So, Bama, Tennessee, they're both favorites. They both should win. They're both 4.5-point favorites. So, yeah, they're 2 seeds. I don't think either of them make it to the final 4.
I don't want to dilute myself too much, but fuck, man. I mean, I have to pick all these teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to have some exposure to all these. This is just tough.
Have any of you guys used BYU yet?
Yeah, I have.
I did a
shit.
1. It was
I did against Wisconsin.
So in the ones that you've used BYU, you like 100% should pick Alabama in those. Because I mean, you need Alabama to win that game anyways, so you might as well make it your pick. And then the other ones, you might want to consider picking BYU. Go both ways.
What's crazy is
It could be sharp.
I just think that with Alabama and BYU, with their offensive like tendencies, it could be a shootout in that game because Alabama isn't great at defense, but they have the SEC experience, so they know how to play like that tough, gritty style. And obviously BYU's physical this year, and they got Big 12 status now, so it's helped them elevate their team and their game. But I don't know. I just feel like this game, Bama could be in trouble just because it's like, well, BYU is not a freaking couch potato, you know. It's not a rollover game. These guys can freaking hang and shoot the ball, and you know, I think it's gonna be a very interesting game.
Good to see BYU took care of Iowa State, man, because Iowa State looked like shit. So, although it doesn't even matter, how they play.
Wait, Cody, go down low real quick. Look how many games BYU's been winning, except for that Houston loss. Look how many games in a row they've won.
red hot.
Second half of that conference play. That's insane.
They're not bad teams.
They're on a fucking roll right now, dude.
Yeah, they're crushing it. It was just that one time they played Houston, they ran into a brick wall and got cold. And so, yeah, I mean this is a really tough basketball team.
Dangerous team. Dangerous.
All right, let's see Alabama. Let's see what they're up to over here, man.
That would be if I had to
They lost to Oregon, dude. They lost to freaking Oregon. They lost to Purdue. Are we serious?
Early games, though, man.
I don't know. There's part of me that just kind of likes to be.
All these fucking losses.
Yeah. So,
you know what this is? This is just them. They're average, but since they're in the SEC, they get a free pass and they get a high rank. This is
They lost to Missouri. They're terrible.
Look at all these losses. They're like winning 50%, less than 50%.
It's because they just go for a shootout. They try to score
They're
100.
4-5.
But they don't play.
5 losses in their last 9 games, bro.
If I had to pick one underdog on the Sweet 16 board, I would probably be on BYU.
We got to go BYU, man. That's the path for us, boys. That's the underdog I'm getting most exposure to.
And because of the SEC like nature of like, you know, Alabama, the Crimson Tide, like I don't know. I don't expect many people to be taking BYU, to be honest with you.
I think Arkansas is going to scare people because we know Arkansas can beat Tech.
Arizona's going to scare Duke. Are you kidding? After what I saw them do tonight, the rebounding that they did.
The rebounding was what won them that game.
Well,
Yeah.
The problem with the Arizona Duke game is like you just can't touch those 1-seeds, you know? I mean, people are going to do it because they're dumb, but like
I don't see that, Duke, but
95% of picks are going to be on these 4 teams: Arkansas Tech and Alabama BYU. Now, best case scenario, we pick BYU and then BYU and Arkansas win. And then it just flushes everyone out. So then we go to day 6 and there's like literally a couple hundred people left, or 10% of the people left.
yeah. That's a good path, at least in a few of your entries. If you guys got a bunch open, I would say 100%. You got to diversify a little bit.
Yeah. Another question I have for you guys. Next year, it'll be different for y'all. Y'all have a ton of entries, but if you're like me here with 61 entries, and this is for 100 grand, if you have 61 entries alive, how much are you diversifying? How are you splitting those 61 entries up on the teams that we have available? I'll show you the teams in a second. That might be better to show you. So 61 entries, like how would y'all split that up?
For day 5?
Yeah, for day 5.
I would probably do 30 of them on Bama. And
Okay.
then,
Half on Bama.
And then I'd probably do like 10 on
10 on everyone else. Fuck it.
30 on Bama, and then 10 on the other one. So 10 on BYU, 10 on Arkansas, and 10 on Texas Tech.
Yeah, and then so what'll happen is if BYU wins, I'll have 20 entries going into day 6. And then if Alabama wins, I'll have 40 going into day 6.
And maybe you do like 2 on like Maryland and 2 on Arizona for fun.
No, there's no need because There's no need to even touch them because the thing is, Tyson, like, there's no upside if you're correct in that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because if you do correctly pick those, it's not like anybody's burning the 1 seeds really right now. And also you may end up needing them. Like they may actually make the Final Four if they can upset those teams. So you may
actually, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no upside.
Like if Arizona comes out and beats Duke, I'm gonna be glad I didn't pick Arizona because I'm gonna be like, I may need to pick them to beat fucking BYU now.
I think Tyson's original breakdown sounded pretty spot on what I would do if I was in it like you guys.
I think I'd rather do the 30 on Texas Tech versus
Bama. So what I might do, Chris, is I might go 15 on Tech, 5 on Arkansas. Tweak it. And I kind of want to
whatever you want, but that ratio is good. Like I think like going half on one is solid idea, and then split the rest up.
Fuck, man, and I hate to split the entries that early. I really hate to. If I was going to go all in on a team, though, it would be Alabama. That would be my most confident of the 4. So if I split the entries, say I get into here with 40 entries. So if you have 40 entries going into day 6 right here, how are you splitting 40 up? Avoid the games with the 1 seeds. So you have 40 entries for these 4 teams, I guess.
That's tough.
I would really just do 20 on Kentucky, 20 on Tennessee.
That's fucking crazy. So then you're taking 20 entries.
But everyone else is going to shit themselves. They're all going to.
You're right. Then you're taking 20 entries into this day. Let me pull it up. This day right here. That's going to be day 7 and 8. So now you have 20 entries, day 7 and 8. And all you'll have to do is pick 1 seeds. You'll have 20 fucking entries to pick the order that the 1 seeds win. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Shit, dude. I might have to rewatch this and copy it.
Cody's going to rewatch his own strategy.
Take fucking notes on this. So the only thing, well, let me think. I'm trying to think of like what the fuck that strategy up. I mean, if the 1 seeds don't win, I would then need
a huge upset happens. That's about it.
But then if the 1 seeds lose, but if I have 20 entries going into the final 4 picks, it's not a bad spot.
How many do you need to guarantee a win day 9?
I did the math a while back, a few days ago, a while back. I did the math. I think if you get to the final 4, you pick 1 and you each 2. So it's 8 different possibilities. If you can get to the final 4, there's 8 paths. So if you get 8 entries to the final 4, you guarantee a win. So I guess if you get, you have to make 2 picks here. So I guess you need 32 entries to guarantee a win. If you get 32 entries into here, I could be fucking that up. But if you get 8 entries,
I'm on a YouTube live stream.
Well, let's talk about the final 4.
Keith, you're like, it's super important. Bye.
Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that rain? Do you need me to mute my mic or anything? It's not picking it up.
No.
You're like, I'm working right now.
Dude, it's like torrentially downpouring out here. It's kind of crazy.
Yo, let's talk about the final 4. Assuming that all the 1 seeds make the final 4, how are you gonna map that out? Auburn, Florida, and you got Duke, Houston. And
okay,
5 people left.
This is more of like a strategy for once we get there, but the way it will work, I wish I could click through this shit to kind of demonstrate, but I guess I can't. So the way it'll work, Tyson, is on they call it day 7 and 8. It's basically the semifinals. You have to pick 2 teams. Wait, I might be tripping. No, the Elite 8, you have to pick 2 teams. So what you're going to want to do is pick the teams that lose the semifinals. So on this side, it'll be Florida and say it's the 1 seeds, Florida, Auburn. I would have Florida beating Auburn So I would pick Auburn there, and then Duke Houston. I would have Duke beating Houston. So on that day, I would pick the 2 weaker 1 seeds, Houston and Auburn. So
yeah.
okay, so
be some great games right there.
So day 7 and 8, you're burning your 3rd and 4th place team in the tournament. So the two lesser 1 seeds, and then, dude, I might be I'm fucking tripping. I think, right? I might be. And then that's right. And then day 9, you pick who's gonna. Day 9, you pick the 1 seed that will lose the championship game. So if I have Duke beating Florida, I would need to put Florida here, and then Duke here.
Basically, if we save the 1 seeds and they end up losing before the Final Four, we're all cooked.
We're gonna have to scramble. We still would have a path, but we would then be relying on the team that beat the 1 seed to get to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which we might have already burned them, so they're screwed.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, if you burn them, then you're in trouble. Yes, yeah. But I mean, dude, if you burn a team that gets to the Final Four, you're fucked anyways. So what can you do? But it's cool because we're gaining so much experience. This is the only show on YouTube where multiple people are strategizing like this. This is the fucking future, boys. We're just early to the party. Like, 5 years from now, everyone's going to be doing this with their friends.
This is definitely like a way more exciting way of watching March Madness. Like,
Oh yeah, way better than the bracket.
yeah, because I said this in my previous YouTube videos, but it's like people get so excited for the Selection Sunday and the hype, and like, okay, this is like moving like perfect bracket this year. Like, this is my year. They get that false hope, and then after the first day, they're like, well, shoot, my bracket's busted, or you know what I mean? Like, the negativity kicks in quick. So with these types of survival brackets, it's so much fun to be able to be like, okay,
I can't believe nobody ever figured this out sooner, to be honest.
Dude, I really wish I didn't burn all these fucking Clemson entries. Look at this. Heartbreaking.
It's almost as Kate Klubnik.
I wonder, Keith, how long this has been going on and we just haven't known about it.
It's possible.
I've heard of brackets like these before, but I just haven't heard of them on like Splash Sports, for example, like these sports fantasy apps. So, I mean, my father-in-law does something similar. He just hosts it.
So Splash Sports, they've combined a couple companies into one. I think it was called Run the Pool or something like that. But last year they only did a contest for $100K. Then they raised $14 million. Let me see. Splash Sports.
You guys need to send this video out on your free winnables so we get like fucking 10,000 views.
Yeah, let the people know about this video.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about this video, boys, is the thing about it. I was just kidding, honestly, because the thing about it is this video only applies to people that are playing Survivor, and most people aren't, unfortunately.
Well, that's okay because they're gonna want to play next year now that they know.
Here's the thing: if I can win even 10 grand or more on any of these entries, we can show people this playlist of videos next year and be like, look what we did. This is how we mapped it out. Go binge watch.
Bro, you guys are going to split one of those pots. I'm telling you, you're going to get down there and maybe even hedge it. I don't know. You have to figure out the taxes at that point. Is it better to split or is it better to just win it all? You guys are in some of the same entries, aren't you?
Yeah, but realistically, Cody's the only one with a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that one of y'all finds your way through. But I mean,
I'm finding my way through. I'm determined on this one.
Even with 60 cracks, like I have 60 lives, it's still going to be hard for me to land one. And it's tough. I think so. Last year, if you look at the bracket last year, it was fucking insane. Like a 12 seed made it to the Final Four. I think it was a 4 seed in the championship, Skylar. I don't know if you remember.
Last year?
It was crazy.
Last year was Bama versus UConn.
Do you know the seeds, though? Do you know this? I think there's
Bama might have been a 4 seed, but UConn was for sure a 1 seed.
Wasn't
it?
Purdue? Purdue.
Oh, my bad. It was two number
Come
one.
on, man. You're the fucking expert. I already know
It was,
more
no,
about
it was the year
college
before. The year before that, Bama played UConn.
Yeah, maybe. But
or was the semi?
anyways, last year I was talking to the Splash Sports guy. He said 5 people won the 100K contest, so they each got 20 grand. And I looked at it. Now that what I know now about Survivor, like the fact of 12 seed or NC State, they may have been an 11 seed. NC State double-digit seed they made it to the Final Four. The fact that 5 people were able to survive that is unbelievable. Those 100%, all 5 of those people had to have been people that entered 100 entries. So there's no way they had 1 entry and they decided to pick NC State with that 1 entry, you know?
So, Cody, it was Bama UConn in the semi last year and Purdue UConn in the championship.
That's good. That's a smart thing to get wrong because that means you watched the semifinals.
Yeah, of course I did. But I do remember NC State playing Purdue in the semis as well last year.
It's crazy, dude. Like people had to pick NC State last year in a position similar to what we're going into. It's nuts.
It was 2 number 1 seeds, a 4 seed, and an 11 seed last year.
But yeah, this company, boys, raised 14 million, which is one of the biggest amounts I've seen raised. So we need to promote the hell out of them and try to get some of that money.
Cody, in 2023, really quick, it was a 5 seed San Diego State, 4 seed UConn,
Yeah,
9 seed Florida Atlantic. Shout out Dusty May.
dude.
Shout out Dusty May, head coach from Michigan, and Vlad Golden, all on that team in the Final Four. Let's see here. That's Final Four. Yeah. And then Miami and UConn.
Dude, that's unbelievable, Skylar. Could you imagine playing Survivor with that type of chaos?
Dude.
That's what I was hoping for.
But what I do like about Survivor is like you can just look at the matchups before. You don't have to pick this before brackets have to be entered on day 1 of March Madness. That's why I feel like this is way more exciting because we're not getting false hope in the very beginning,
We're watching stuff and then we're game planning every day. You watch the game plan. I'm like, I can't miss this shit because I need to see it and I need to make sure that I can trust this team. And I'm like, all right, I can't trust that team. I'm picking this team. It's dope. You're engaged the whole way through. But all right, I'm gonna cut the video off. It's getting long. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. We will be back. Probably another video.
Do you guys want an impersonation before we go, or are we just gonna have no fun? Or?
I don't think this is on YouTube.
It's been pretty fun, man. It's been pretty fun. You haven't had fun?
Saying, no.
Keith, take your shirt off.
No,
Keith will do an impersonation for you on his channel.
I was gonna offer a Trupa impersonation.